earring, a bling bling bling. Timoni sing, yeah we like them finer things. What's queen? Get your hands up when I enter the ring. You move that thing, a ting a ling a ling. Put your hands up when I enter the scene. All the man them first, yeah we sign big checks. Gonna wind your neck, double up, yes. Yeah I can break that baller. Counting up all my dollar. Call me the big shot caller. Cause I'm coming in hot. Yeah we coming in hot. Yeah we coming in hot. Get loud. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Yeah we coming in hot. Yeah we coming in hot. Get wild. Made me feel alive, made me feel something. Don't turn around and say it's all for nothing. Running out of time, smoke and blurred lines. Had me. Feeling like we floated to another place. How can I breathe when you love? It feels like I can't say. You made me feel alive, made me feel something. Don't say it's all or nothing. I can upgrade you, I will not save you. I am no savior, I ain't your creator. If you need saving, you should look inside yourself. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. Higher. You should find your higher self. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. Higher. You should find your higher self. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. I can upgrade you, I will not save you. I am no savior, I ain't your creator. If you need saving, you should look inside yourself. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. I can upgrade you, I will not save you. I am no savior, I ain't your creator. If you need saving, you should look inside yourself. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. Higher. You should find your higher self. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. Higher. You should find your higher self. If you need saving, you should find your higher self. Bass, watch me bounce along the rhythm. I'm flying in my rocket ship, making my own decisions. I don't wait my time, guess I'm too impatient. Yes, I started up the fire to watch it burn. Watch me, watch and learn. Watch me, watch and learn. Wanna know a secret? You can watch me, watch and learn. Watch me, watch and learn. Watch me, watch and learn. Wanna know a secret? You can watch me. This the face of a trendsetter. Out the way, I'm a go-getter. This the face of a trendsetter. This the face of a trendsetter. No time to play 'cause I know better. This the face of a trendsetter. Iconic, I got flair. I'm the reason that they stare. Make 'em stop and pop they top. You cannot take me anywhere. dream city. This the face of a trendsetter. No time to play cause I know better. This the face of a trendsetter. I'm Miss Incredible. I'm Miss Incredible. Say hello to Miss Incredible. Keep your eyes on me, baby, got what you want and I know. Where everybody's looking cause I steal the show. An independent woman that is in control. Don't I make you feel invincible? I can make you feel so special. A real woman every day, every night. A real woman does it right, does it right. I'm Miss Incredible. I'm Miss Incredible, yeah. I'm the one and only girl that you need. I'm the one and only girl that's me. All my ladies need to let them know you're Miss Incredible, yeah. You gotta let them know, yeah. You're Miss Incredible. I got them singing like, ooh la 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 la, la 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 la, ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la, la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la, I'm Miss Incredible, yeah. I'm Miss Incredible, yeah. I'm the one and only girl that you need. I'm the one and only girl that's me. All my ladies need to let them know you're Miss Incredible, yeah. You gotta let them know, yeah. You're Miss Incredible. You're Miss Incredible. Yeah, we coming in hot. Hot, hot. Yeah, we coming in hot. Hot, hot. Yeah, we coming in hot. Yeah, we coming in hot. A ching ching ching, a bad girl ring, diamonds all on my wrist. I move like that, I shake like that, fill up when I go ish. Move up, make some room for me. Come on, wind up your body. Get up, time to go and play. Double up, yeah. A boom boom boom.
Hey guys, Amina Smith hanging out with you here in Brooklyn Heights as ESPNW takes over the One Hotel for the ESPNW Summit. We'll have change makers and leaders from entertainment and sports and business coming at you directly. Now, this is one of my favorite venues in Brooklyn as a girl who grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and I want to show you three of my favorite things about this venue. Come with me. Our first stop is the lobby here at the One Hotel, and as soon as you walk in, the sights are absolutely breathtaking. The decor, all the greenery, the vibe is very much Brooklyn Heights with that still industrial feel. A lot of people come here for a cup of coffee, to do some work, or just to vibe out. This next stop is a must for everyone to see all the views here at One Hotel. You can see the Manhattan skyline, you can see the Brooklyn Bridge, you can also just hang out right there by the East River, and let's not forget the tons of restaurants here on the promenade. Our third and final and my favorite spot here at the One Hotel has to be the rooftop. You can see not only the Manhattan skyline, but also the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, and the Statue of Liberty, and literally anything your heart desires from that rooftop. Literally, guys, you have to see it to believe it. So make sure you're here next year at the ESPNW Summit. The 2026 ESPNW Summit NYC presented by Lilly. What a beautiful day here in New York City, in Brooklyn, as we get ready for the ESPNW Summit here at the One Hotel Brooklyn Bridge. Hey guys, Amina Smith here hanging out with you, and welcome into the ESPNW Summit NYC presented by Lilly. Guys, this is my first time coming here to the ESPNW Summit, and I'm so excited about what's ahead. You guys can get prepared to be inspired, to be led by leaders, and also to connect with so many people across sports, entertainment,
and business. We have panels from people all around sports and business. Also, one person I'm super excited to interview today, Michaela Edenfield. She's literally like the princess of softball. We also have Layla Edwards from Team USA in hockey. Also, Brianna Stewart, she's going to be in the building as well. So many people that we will get ready to talk to. Make sure you guys share your thoughts on social media, hashtag ESPNW Summit. And I think we're getting started inside, so let's take you in.
I know. As soon as I started hearing.
Now that's one way to start a conference. Take a seat, everyone. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Fogo Azul, everybody. If you weren't awake already. And the most fun thing about this group is this is their side hustle. They all have regular everyday jobs. We have a face and body painter. Total regular everyday job. We have, let's see, a film projectionist for the Modern Museum of Art here in New York. We have a librarian. We love our librarians. And we have someone who makes shoes and was on QVC. And yet here they are also drumming their way into our hearts. One more big round of applause for Fogo Azul! I'm already tired. We just got started. Also, this was a really bad idea to give me a cowbell. I don't think they really thought that through. Just at any moment. Okay. I can do plenty of damage with my mouth, plenty loud enough. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Spain. Welcome to the 2026 ESPNW Summit NYC. This is my 8th time hosting here in New York City. And between New York, Chicago, Toronto, and our annual California summits, this is my 25th ESPNW Summit. And I'm only 28. Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited. It's going to be an incredible, amazing day. Hydrate. Make sure in the moments between panels, outside, at the breaks, during lunch, you're talking, you're networking. Make sure you get to meet everybody here in the room, and then at cocktails after, of course, we'll have that as well. But this is for everyone in the room to learn, feel inspired, and take it back to wherever you work. Whether where you work is somewhere that already embraces the power of women's sport, or is a place that needs a little nudge. We hope we give you a lot of information and facts and exciting stuff that you can take back into the spaces in which you work. And, you know, it's been a really incredible ride for me over the course of the 25 summits to see us sort of start out with like, can we get some basic acknowledgement and respect here? To now being like, can we get $250 million for this expansion team? Right? It's been quite a journey. And if you've seen this summit before, if you've been here before, you know that I always stand up here and I give you this long list of ways that the vertical growth of women's sports has impressed us over the past year. Right? The rocket ship growth we've seen over the last couple years. And that vertical growth is still here and still beyond impressive. For instance, viewership numbers. Women's sports generated 46 billion minutes of viewership in 2025. That's an all-time record. The WNBA, most watched regular season and postseason ever, 1.3 million. Average viewers on ESPN, 1.3 million average viewers on ESPN, and then more than 220 million total hours consumed of WNBA. NWSL championship games surpassed 1.18 million viewers on CBS, first time over the million mark. NCAA volleyball and softball delivered their most watched seasons on record. And then we've got attendance, people showing up in person in droves. PWHL crossed 1.1 million fans in attendance, first U.S. Women's Hockey League to pass 1 million. I was in the building in Chicago for the Takeover Tour game when we passed 1 million, so you can give me all the credit. The NWSL set a U.S. pro women's sports single match attendance record, 63,004 people in Denver for the Denver Summit opener. Unbelievable. You can clap it up. The Golden State Valkyries averaged over 18,000 fans per game in their very first season. That's a league single-team home attendance record. The Bay Area showed up from day one. Major League Volleyball's Omaha Supernovas set a new U.S. attendance record for an indoor women's pro volleyball match. Sellout crowd of 16,838 fans. Omaha knows how to show up for volleyball. The women's Six Nations rugby shattered attendance benchmarks. They had over 194,000 fans early in the tournament. So people are showing up. Impressive valuation numbers. I said that 250 million. It's not the only big number. Your New York Liberty is now valued near $600 million. The Valkyries in year 2, shout out to everyone's favorite Jess Smith, who's done it again. She did it at Angel City, now she's doing it at the Valkyries. They are valued in their second year at $1 billion. The first $1 billion franchise in women's sports. Carrie's like, yeah, that's my girl. Expansion fees are way up. Like I said, $250 million buy-in for the new Columbus NWSL team. Women's sports are now projected to generate multi-billion-dollar revenues annually within the next couple years. That is worth clapping for. Billions with a B. And now I always come up here and talk about that vertical growth, right? It's so impressive. But the thing that impresses me so much this year and last year is the horizontal growth, right? The depth of opportunity, offerings, teams, leagues, more places for people to play, more things for people to watch. So let's talk expansion in addition. We've got 2 new WNBA teams starting tomorrow with the 30th season of the W. I got my W orange on. We got Portland and Toronto joining this year. Then we've got Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. We'll be up to a record 18 teams by 2030. We've got 2 new NWSL teams this year and an expansion franchise in Columbus, Ohio, which will join Atlanta starting in 2028. So we are building there as well. The AUSL added 2 new teams for 2026. The PWHL added 2 new teams, and they just announced Detroit. Okay, all right, fair. I get that. But they are expected reportedly to potentially announce up to 4 new teams for next year. And there's one right near Detroit, Chicago. Okay, I'm in New York, I get it. That I would love to see a team in. The Women's Lacrosse League confirmed an expanded full competition schedule with playoffs this summer, so not a showcase format anymore, a full season. We're super excited for that. And the Women's Professional Baseball League starts this summer with teams in Boston, New York, LA, and San Francisco, though all the games the first season will be in Illinois. And this is the first new women's pro baseball league since the All-American girls in the 1940s and 50s. This is incredible and an amazing opportunity for those women who have said all along, softball is nice, baseball is my sport. So we're super excited for them. Finally, the breadth and depth of the women's sports experience and locations that you can experience it. We had PWHL games at Madison Square Garden and TD Garden, both sellouts. We've got an upcoming Gotham game at Citi Field, the first women's sporting event ever at that home of the Mets. We've got NCAA volleyball at Wrigley Field and AT&T Stadium, and so much more to come. So I just want to say, one of the biggest quotes in women's sports has always been, we don't have to settle for the crumbs, we want the whole pie. And I feel like now we've got like an entire dessert cart. Like, you know when you're at a suite and they just roll it on up and you get to pick from all the different things? That's what we're getting now. We don't just have the pie. We've got everything that you could ever want in women's sports. So many offerings, so many teams and leagues and sports. And so now, with the financials where they are, with the viewership and attendance where they are, the real key is that the stakeholders and the people in charge figure out where we want to go. How do we protect the culture and community of women's sports, even as the money starts to look like men's sports? How do we make sure we're still centering the players and the fans and the people who have been there since the very beginning, instead of just the people with money and power who show up late, right? How do we make sure that we protect this thing that we love so much and keep it special, even as we welcome in all these new folks who want to get involved? We don't want to be hipsters about it. We can like the band, and they can too, but we do want to make sure that we're still centering the things that make women's sports so special. So we're going to celebrate the wins today, and we're also going to talk about what it takes to maintain that culture and community, that inclusivity, how we make sure that in the future this big financial bubble doesn't burst. Are we ready? That was terrible. Truly terrible. Are we ready? Yes. I was going to say it's early, but honestly, we started a little late, and 10 is not that early, so you guys have no excuse. Before we get started, I do want to thank our Summit sponsors, who are tremendous supporters of women in sports. Lilly returns as the presenting sponsor of the ESPNW Summit NYC, continuing their investment and commitment to women's sports. Adidas joins us for the first time in NYC. We all loved the year that we got in Ojai last year, and we're hoping you all got to pick up your set today. If you look at it and you're like, oh, sweatpants, sweatshirt, I love that. No, this material, it's like magic. I don't know what it's made of. It's made of clouds in heaven. It's so wonderful. So we love Adidas showing up for us. So great. And we also love our first panel showing up for us, because this is the perfect place for us to start when we talk about building the future. So please help me welcome the women at the helm first. Chief Operating Officer of Gotham FC, former head of strategy and chief of staff at Angel City Football Club, previous stops at SpaceX, Crooked Media, and Goldman Sachs. She's fascinating, y'all. It's Carrie Fleischauer.
Oh, hi.
Okay. Was this your request?
No, I don't think I had a request.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Joining us next, she's the GM for the Portland Cascade, a new Athletes Unlimited Softball League expansion team beginning play this summer. She's a former pro player herself. She's also the current CEO of Alliance Fast Pitch, which is a national youth softball organization connecting club softball and overseeing national championships. It's Jamie Lowprice.
Woo! Woo.
Okay.
Didn't approve these pictures, right?
Finally, the GM of the Seattle Torrent in the Professional Women's Hockey League, an expansion team that started play this season. Former collegiate and pro player. She previously served as assistant GM for the Boston Fleet. It's Megan Turner.
Woo! Got a whole couch to myself here.
You get your own couch.
Oh my God. So much to talk about. I love the fact that we have representation from some leagues that are just in the first couple years of existence, and there's so much to learn from what it is to start something new in the women's sports space, and in Carrie's case, what it is to take on something that's been around for a while, and hopefully add and build and innovate. So, Carrie, I want to start with your resume that I mentioned, because I find it fascinating to leave college at Northwestern.
Go Cats.
Okay. Just checking the room. And end up first at Goldman Sachs, but then Crooked Media, so Pod Save America and all those pods we love, and SpaceX. What did you actually take from those experiences into the sports world?
A lot, I think. We used to make the joke, my parents think that I hate making money. So I kind of went the reverse route most people would have guessed. But I think it taught me, if anything, starting at a bigger institution like Goldman, which I had an amazing experience, met a lot of really smart people, that I really wanted to find something, not even necessarily more fulfilling, but something that filled my cup more. And so I feel like I've slowly made the journey to what that has meant for me as kind of the through line, but also being able to take the skills that I learned and actually utilize them in a space that maybe doesn't have a ton of people that have a finance background or have worked in a startup mentality. And so I think being able to take a lot of the things I learned both from a corporate level and like a meritocracy level and be able to say, hey, these are the things that I loved about it. These are the things I didn't love, and the things that I didn't love generally at some of the bigger organizations was the lack of autonomy and the lack of being able to be flexible and just doing stuff because no one had done it before, rather than just saying, hey, we did this here, so we're gonna continue to do it this way. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so I've been so lucky at Angel City and now at Gotham to work with people and to work with incredible owners who have said, hey, like, we're still building this, like, let's figure it out, like, let's try out what works, let's try out what doesn't, and really being dynamic and learning from that. And I think that that's something that you see across women's sports is, yes, quote unquote, there's like a playbook in some ways, and you mentioned Jess Smith, like we talk about this all the time, but at the same time, I mean, these two are building teams that have never existed. Right. That's what we did at Angel City, and we're in leagues that are still really young.
So much space to innovate, and like as much as they're getting bigger, there's still not a ton of bandwidth. So you're able to make a decision and do it instead of like, let me run it through 30 people and then see what we get. Yeah. You helped build Angel City into the biggest brand in women's sports. You set the standard for future franchises across different leagues. How did Gotham pull you away from the Sun, from the post-game orange slices with Jennifer Garner and Natalie Portman, and everything that Angel City had to offer?
I think it was a really tough thing to grapple with. I loved my time at Angel City, and it was a really magical, special place with a lot of really, really incredible people. When the chance at Gotham came up and I got a chance to talk to our incredible owner, Carolyn Tisch, Jeff Blodgett, and her chief operating officer of the fund, Lauren Baum, I think I was just really curious. They had something that Angel City did not ever have, which was a winning record.
You like that?
I was like, wow, that must be nice. And so I think for me, the Carolyn family had just bought the team not that long ago, two and a half years ago, and it really felt like a rebirth there. And so in a lot of ways, there were some parallels with building an expansion team. I also think that my goal at Angel City was to build it to a place where I wasn't necessarily needed. And after 5 years there, I think that there was enough incredible people around, and we'd built enough of a foundation that it was kind of like, hey, how can we, for the sake of women's sports, go and replicate that elsewhere, and to do it in a place that has, I think, probably the best market for sports in the world, and with a team that is exceptional, with really incredible staff, really smart people, and an unbelievable ownership group. It was hard to turn down, and so I feel very, very grateful. It's definitely hard.
Yes.
But I have really phenomenal people alongside for the journey, and so I've been really inspired and motivated to take a lot of the stuff that we did really well at Angel City and to try a lot of new stuff, because it's not the same.
Do it here. You know, Jamie, speaking of markets, Portland is such a fantastic one for women's sports.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. How have you approached building fandom for a new team in that space that already has such beloved women's teams?
It is, and that's everything you heard, too, about Portland, was just how much they love women's sports. And we showed up, in our announcement, we were first. Like 48 hours after this was announced, we were in market, and it was packed. And you could just feel it. Every time I go there, you just feel the love that they have in the community. Last year, AUSL did more of a tour model, and Portland was not one of the cities. But I think just looking around at the landscape of women's sports, It's been amazing of what's happened and already embracing the team.
And you've got your rose for the Rose City.
I do have my rose.
She's on brand already. Softball historically resonates with Middle America, with a lot of conservative regions. Portland is notably very progressive, right? So how do you marry those audiences and those expectations with what you know will serve the city you're in?
It's a great question, and it is. I mean, softball traditionally is kind of a blue-collar sport, I would say, too. But we've seen it continuously grow. And I just think that what's been fun about Portland from my observation initially is it was the community first that bought in, and then the softball fans come. So a lot of times in softball, we were doing the tour model around youth tournaments. And that's really what our fan base was the participants and ones that have played. So I'm just excited to see this whole new fan base that's embracing, and I think in all of our markets too, that there's a really good mix of traditional softball markets with also established just sports fan bases and then women's sports fan bases too.
I think as we see so many expansion teams across different leagues arrive, what we're learning is that looking at the existing sports market and thinking you can find the women's sports market in it is not always the case. Yeah. It is a whole different audience waiting for you to show up, and then they arrive, which has been really cool to see. Megan, you were very recently in Jamie's shoes looking to try to create tradition and loyalty from basically nothing, right? Starting fresh. So how did you approach connecting with Seattle fans from day one and finding their hockey lovers?
Yeah, well, I think I have to give Seattle fans a lot of credit first. Before we even announced the Seattle team, they were mobilized, energized, activated. I know we have some Seattle people in this room today, so they show up, right? Like they show up in every location, and they've been doing that from day one. For me, it was not lost on me that we're creating a team, but we're also creating a brand in the market. And so, we talked about culture first in our locker room, and I think that we wanted that to extend to the broader fan base in the city and how we showed up every day to our games. And I have a ton of people that support me and support this organization and that show up and put on a great show and make our games joyous, right? And so we really looked to match the energy and enthusiasm that we felt from Seattle and try to give that back.
Hockey fans are wild, man. I mean, it is so fun across the country to see how bought in day one they are, how much they're creating the culture of the sport they love. Yep. You got to start in an Olympic year. You got to start with a superstar, the superstar in Hillary Knight at the center of this new team. And that created a ton of momentum. But with an Olympic year, you also have disrupted play, disrupted flow, right? You're taking a bunch of time off and getting back to it, and injuries. Hillary had to sit out a bunch after coming back from Milan Cortina. So can you talk about how the Olympics were sort of a double-edged sword and gave you a lot of eyeballs, but maybe also made it hard to feel like you had a real regular season?
Yeah, to hit on the positives first, like there's so much exposure that came out of the Olympics. Obviously for our team, but just for the league in general. When we came back, we put on the scoreboard all of the Olympians across the league. I should have the number, but I don't. But it was an immense portion of our league.
Our the entire Canadian team was in the PWHL.
Yes, which is crazy,
player.
Right? Some staff included, right? So there's big overlap, and just the exposure that it gave us, and coming out of that, people who didn't know hockey, didn't know our players, I think just it was a great experience and for the players and for people coming to our games to be able to connect with something that's on the international stage as well. And then certainly from the season perspective, it's hard. I give the players a lot of credit, right? The Olympics and winning a gold medal and the prospect of that is still the pinnacle of women's hockey. I think for maybe little boys are looking at the Stanley Cup, but little girls now are looking at the Walter Cup, I'm sure too. But the Olympic gold around their neck, I think, is still kind of the pinnacle. So there's a lot of pressure on the players to obviously perform at the highest level, and a lot of these players have been looking to be at the Olympics and to win gold or win a medal for their whole lives. So they're really bought in, and dealing with two different systems, two different organizations, two different pressure sets is a lot, and I think it just gives them a lot of credit. So it certainly was, I think, difficult to manage, heading into the Olympics for the players and staff alike. And And then coming out, obviously, we had some injuries. Hannah Bilko was sidelined for the year too, so we have to kind of adjust our roster and be creative that way.
Yeah. So much excitement around that win, though. I got to be there at the gold medal game. It was unbelievable. And then coming back, the Olympic bump is huge. You're seeing them on Saturday Night Live and the late night shows and magazines and everywhere else. You know, Carrie, you arrive at Gotham, and this is a franchise that dates back all the way to Sky Blue. Do we have any folks who went to Sky Blue games? Okay, all right. We got one. Where did you feel the most difference between working at an expansion team and starting fresh between a legacy franchise and trying to figure out what you want to embrace and maybe what you want to change?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think there were a lot of things coming into Gotham that were already established, as you mentioned. It was, I think the biggest difference coming from an expansion team was that not only were we trying to build something new, and I think, again, as I mentioned, once the Carolyn and her family came in and Next 3 bought the team, it was essentially this kind of like rebirth of what felt almost like an expansion team. And I think that you're seeing that in a lot of the investment that they've continued to make and how they've really approached rebuilding both the sporting side, but also the front office, the brand, et cetera. But then you think about Angel City, for example, and the first year it was just me and Julie Erman at our house, essentially. And so a lot of our wins were not public, but also kind of our losses. And so when you're coming into a team that has already existed, yes, you can work on this, rebuilding this next chapter, all these things we're really excited about, this massive investment, but you're also running a team. And so you're doing that at the same time. And so I think that was the biggest difference. It was like, hey, we're going to basically build an expansion team and a new brand, and there's still a huge amount of opportunity of people that still get to learn about Gotham, but also we're standing on the shoulders of some of the things that have already been done. And I got really lucky that my counterparts, Yael and Ryan, had done a ton of work, especially coming in. I mean, they won a championship before I got there. They won a championship the year I got there. And so getting to have a team that has that visibility in that way is something to really build that momentum on and capitalize on. And it also, I think, brought to light just what we still need to do. Yeah. And so, again, everyone here is now officially invited to the game we're playing at Citi Field that Sarah mentioned earlier, July 15th, so the week of the World Cup final. But I think that one thing we're trying to do is to continue to, we have this amazing product, how do we make sure that we're showing it and getting it the attention that it deserves? And we're lucky that our ownership's willing to put forth that investment, and that's not always the case, so I don't take that for granted. And I think that's another kind of big difference between coming from an expansion team and having a team that has this history. You have history for both good and bad. So there's things to learn and things to change, but there's also things that have worked and that you want to continue to do. And so you're still kind of trying to dynamically figure out what that mission is. And we internally always say that our motto is always building, never finished. And I think that just rings true in every part of the business and also just across women's sports, because no matter how far we come, it's maybe still not what everyone deserves. And so when we're measuring, we're not necessarily measuring against an expansion team, a prior team, or even our league. It's what it's actually deserved. And so always being that forward-facing, saying, hey, what is kind of that next step, while also maintaining and being thankful for the fans that we have and bringing them along for this journey.
Yeah, it's like, here are the traditions we need to keep so that people feel the through line in the history of the team. And also we don't have to hang on to things that no longer serve us or don't fit with the current model. Women's sports has changed so exponentially in recent years that the fans expect and demand change. And actually I had the commissioner of the MLV who just came on my show, Good Game with Sarah Spain, recently. And she said, we can't confuse momentum for maturity. And that's one thing in women's sports that I think is so key. Yes, demand better, expect the best, and also so many of these leagues and teams are so new that they won't be caught up to men's leagues that have 100 years of history. So that's really important to know. And Jamie, I'm wondering for you, with this brand new thing in Portland, can you find traditions in the city when it comes to softball and say, we want to link up to things that have happened here decades, a century ago in this sport, and bring them back to people's consciousness?
There is a little bit. The Little League World Series, I think, traditionally was there with softball. And when you think of softball, at least I think the general public thinks Southern California, you think Texas, you think Florida, but it is there. And there's a lot of top players that have come out of that area. But when we did a call recently, just talking, what is the identity going to be? What's the culture with the fans? And I would love to take from the Thorns, right? What are they doing really well? What are the Fire being the new team? What are they doing? So I'm kind of hoping that even the community brings it themselves and creates it organically within. I think there's a lot to learn from what's already been established there.
Yeah, you put those players at the Thorns game, which have people been to a Portland Thorns game? It's amazing. It's right in the middle of everything. The fans are insane. It's packed every time. So you drop in there and say, hey, come on over and check us. We're right down the street. One of the things that has drawn attention to the AUSL is the golden ticket. We had it on stage last year. Elle Duncan belatedly got a golden ticket for her softball prowess years earlier. Haven't seen her in a game yet, though, so.
She did give a golden ticket.
Okay.
She actually she handed out a golden ticket to Megan Grant at
Okay,
UCLA
amazing. So she's passing it on before she ever takes an at-bat.
Open invite.
Yeah, it's a great social media moment, but beyond that, it really connects the college and pro game. How are you trying to make sure the AUSL is building off an incredible interest in the Women's College World Series and the college softball world?
Definitely shout out to the women behind AUSL who actually put that together. I had nothing to do with that, but I'm a fan. It was really special for me this year of knowing, like, oh my goodness, I drafted her. I helped in that process. But the college softball has traditionally been such a huge sport. It's great for TV. We've done really well in the Women's College World Series. So I think it was brilliant from AUSL to tap into that fan base and just the emotions, the raw emotional feelings. You have the families involved. And this year there was a big crossover into mainstream. Not only Elle, Sabrina Nescu was helped with Oregon. Patrick Mahomes led off with
Jenny Finch.
Jenny Finch. But it was just really cool to see that crossover of getting even other sports involved too, which has to increase our eyeballs overall.
Yeah, and the golden ticket, in case anyone doesn't know, lets a player know that they've been drafted, and someone will show up in the middle of their game when they're surrounded by their teammates and friends and family and coaches and let them know you're headed to the pros. And then just on Monday on ESPN2 was the AUSL draft results. So that's when the players and fans got to find out where the players were actually headed. Carlin Pickens out of Tennessee, number 1, Nigeri Kennedy, number 2, and getting to actually find out, like, okay, they have 2 moments of excitement, the draft and then where they're headed.
And ours is tougher because they're in season. And so that's not like, when basketball season ends or when football ends, so ours are actually in season. So capitalizing on those moments where you have these fan bases that are at home was huge. But yeah, the excitement there, and then they still have no idea. They don't know when they picked. There were 17 draft picks this year. They didn't know what order. They didn't know what team. And there's some great talent this year. I got to shout out Megan Grant too, because that was our draft pick. But just to see like the emotions, the excitement, it's really powerful, and we hope that'll continue right into our season.
Megan, the PWHL is building tradition very organically, stacking seasons, and they added a pretty big new one this year, which was the sold-out game at Madison Square Garden. Y'all played there. You played against the home team, the New York Sirens. What stood out to you from that night? What was the most memorable part?
Oh my gosh. So my vantage point is from the rafters usually. So I am lucky enough to get the bird's eye view, but my eyeballs don't feel so good. But I think just looking at the fan base, knowing a lot of my family members who came into the city, and just seeing a bunch of new faces was really cool. And then obviously you get the moment, you sell out Madison Square Garden, like it's it, right? So for me, it was, I think I had a moment up top there where I was like, and candidly, I have these moments all the time because of the momentum of this league. I've had it at Climate Pledge many times this year, but it was just seeing all the new faces, and even when you see them on the Jumbotron and the scoreboard, and people are just loving it, and they feel like it's a safe space for them, and they can be themselves in the arena, and show up in a way that they feel is authentic. I think that was, just the experience of the game. Obviously, we lost that game in a shootout, which is bad for me, probably good for the league. So it was just a great experience overall, and I know the players felt that too. And Hill after was like, that was an amazing experience. Like the PWHPA played at MSG in a very different environment, and so it's kind of juxtaposed to where we've been and where we are today. It was a great moment.
Yeah, and you mentioned the safe space, and we've seen that across PWHL games. It's become a really popular place for engagements. Yes. Particularly for like queer couples, and it does feel like this wonderful community space. And one of the things that stands out so much, you mentioned Climate Pledge. Your home arena stands alone in the league already within 1 year. Can you speak to that for a sec?
Yeah, we led the league in average attendance. We were just shy of 13,000 fans, which first year team, like that's amazing. So big shout out to the Seattle fans who show up. It's a very eclectic group. There's like anyone and everyone can come to our games, and they always have fun, and they always want to come back, and they always bring their friends. So the building is fantastic. It's state of the art, obviously very sustainable in that way. And so there's just the players love playing there. I love managing a team there. It's just been an awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, you have your own place, and that feels really special, and you've made it your own within the first year. But one of the powerful things about going to places like MSG, or there was an NWSL game at Wrigley Field, and what stood out to me is I've been going here my whole life to watch men. And I'm here watching women on this field with all the history and tradition and everything that people associate with this space. But now it's packed to the gills, 30,000 plus for women. And seeing that at MSG, it does feel different. It's not more special than your home arena, but it's like we're in this place that people only associate with their history and their memories. And as women's sports are getting longer tails, we have more years to add on those incredible memories, which is really cool. But somebody's first experience at MSG might have been a women's game.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a very community-driven feeling. This is just my impression, but when I go to games in our league, like even as someone who's on staff, I feel the community. It's really palpable in the arena, no matter what market you go to, and so. People are learning the game of hockey. Like we put icing and offsides and some of the rules up on the scoreboard because people are trying to Google it on their phones in real time. So it's been amazing.
And if you're not familiar, the PWHL also has some of their own rules, which are so brilliant and so fun. So if you go to their games, you'll learn about the jailbreak, which is, if you manage to score while you're shorthanded, your person in the penalty box comes out early. They don't have to serve their whole suspension or their whole penalty. And they've got this incredible way to combat tanking at the end of the season. Like you're really thinking about the ways you can be agile and innovative because you're so fresh, which is great. Carrie, Gotham's going to have its own history-making moment. You mentioned the Citi Field game coming up, so tell us about that.
Yeah, no, we are so excited. It's called the Queens Classic. I'm obviously in Queens. Again, it's just a historic event for us. It's the first time that anyone has done a women's event at Citi Field. We're hoping to help the Mets out with their record and have a win there. Shout out to the Mets for being great partners. Additionally, it's the biggest game in women's history in New York. It's also the first game that will have ever played in actual New York City. So we're super excited. There's also a ton of momentum around it because it's the week of the World Cup final, which we were talking a little bit about it backstage, but it's a bit of a double-edged sword though, because I credit, like our marketing team is brilliant. I credit our content team. They've figured out a way essentially to take this lemon, which was we're getting kicked out of our stadium because there is FIFA here. And we were gonna have to go play somewhere else. And so we were like, hey, like how do we use this as a moment when soccer is such a big highlight right now as an opportunity to show, hey, we actually have World Cup winners on this team. Also from an accessibility standpoint, that's something I think inherently is related to women's sports. That is such an intention, is being able to be accessible. And for us, this game really represents that. I mean, it's 42,000 seats, so room for everyone, so everyone here should get a ticket. But not even just that, we're thinking about the fact that while we're, again, kind of getting, not in our home, how do we start to make a home somewhere else and really kind of branch out to fans that maybe we never would have had otherwise. But at the same time, also branch out to fans that maybe are here to watch the Men's World Cup and can't afford a ticket because the train tickets are more expensive than tickets to our game. So how are you thinking about that and trying to capture that that kind of new fan base? Because I think, we've talked about it a lot, but if you had the historic infrastructure that men's sports had, I think a lot more people would know about all of our teams. And so getting to kind of piggyback a little bit on that and work within that, whether that's through doing stuff with the FIFA committee, doing stuff with the mayor's office, which is some stuff we've been working on, but really getting to lean into this event that will be a huge celebration of Gotham, of women's soccer, and it's a game against the Washington Spirit, which is our rival, and a remake of the championship game from last year. So I think for us, it's something that we we couldn't be more thrilled about it. It's been
Yeah.
a ton of work, but there's a ton of cool entertainment stuff happening behind the scenes. There'll be an incredible fan fest. I don't know if we've announced this yet, but I don't know if I want to say, but there'll be stuff around the World Cup semifinal that is also happening that day. But we're making it into a full day of soccer, and really trying to make it so that we can bring everyone in and say, hey, you want to watch Rose Lavelle, like who has won multiple World Cups, or you want to watch, Esther, who was on Spain and has won the World Cup last time, especially when maybe you can't get to the final, and especially if you're a U.S. fan. No offense.
You want to see winners?
I was going to say, no offense to men, but the men's national team, the best they've ever done, they got third place in 1930. Because that's objective. That's just facts. The women have won 5 gold medals and 4 World Cups in 35 years.
Yep.
So, it's not the same product.
It's not the same product. And also, you did partner with Mayor Zamdani to make this incredible opportunity this weekend of $5 tickets. And it was not just to say, come check out Gotham for the first time, but it was to, with intention, push back on FIFA's decision not to have dynamic pricing, not to make it accessible to other people. And it's just the latest of a trillion examples of women's sports leaning into the issues and inclusivity and serving fans and serving communities in a way that oftentimes men's sports doesn't do. And you made vodka lemonade out of lemons by making sure that you did something really cool instead of just saying we're getting kicked out and we're going to be bummed about it. You took advantage of it, which is great. Jamie, speaking of the women's dynamic, one of the really important parts of the AUSL launch last year was that the MLB provided him the MLB. Has anyone ever said the Major League Baseball? MLB provided this massive investment and really allowed you to piggyback off of century plus of their success in a way that felt really meaningful and really changed the stakes for this iteration of a women's pro softball league.
And it's something that we've talked about for a long time, right? Of watching the WNBA and the NBA, like when is Major League Baseball going to get involved? And I agree. I think it's just been much more of an organic. I think it starts at the top with Kim Ng too, and our commissioner. But even last night, right at the Yankees game, I think we've had 12. I got my fact, 12 first pitches this year that we've thrown. Just the social media coverage during the announcement, the TV coverage. I think we're going to have MLB Network that's covering. So it's huge. It's something we've waited for. I think the timing was right, and clearly our leadership was right to embrace that too.
Yeah, you can get recaps of the games on MLB.com. You've got reporters that are doing some double duty. And again, it's that little leg up of tons of years of history and fan development and engagement that they get to offer up to you as you're starting something brand new.
And I'm biased, but our game is so much more fun. Like, no offense, baseball. I know it's gotten faster, but it is so much. It's made for TV, the 2-hour time slot, you're right there, the accessibility with our players. I mean, it's...
Do you also have hot dogs?
We do have hot dogs and beer. So still
Perfect.
get the tradition.
Right. Megan, the Takeover Tour, for those who don't know, these are neutral site games in cities that don't yet have a PWHL team. This is so brilliant. You are bringing the teams to folks so that they can fall in love with the game even if they don't have their own team yet. There were some interesting insights and data points that the PWHL got from sending women's teams into NHL stadiums. Can you share that?
Yeah, I think the biggest one that pops out to me is that I think it was 80% of people who come to our Takeover Tour games, so neutral site games. Example is we went to Dallas this year. We hadn't been to Dallas as a league. I think it's 80% of the people haven't stepped foot in an NHL building. So that just gives you the data point to show that these are new fans. These are different people. There's obviously overlap too, but it is a different community, and it's really cool to see the people, dads bringing their daughters, families coming. It's certainly a different dynamic, and I think that just plays into what we had talked about before. But certainly, it's cool to see the way that this league is truly growing the game in real time, not just with the youth, but with adult leagues and things of that nature. So we really lean into, when we do these Takeover Tour games, Detroit announced a new team yesterday, number 9. So, and you see Little Caesars, the organizations there. So it's not just, bringing our players and saying, okay, we did a game here, that's cool. It's like, okay, are we organizing with the Dallas Stars Elite youth programs, right? It's a whole mobilization. And so I think the league has done a fantastic job of really growing the game throughout the continent, really, at this point.
And I think Little Caesars Arena has had 4 takeover games.
Yes, yep.
So they have established themselves as a place, they've set a bunch of records in attendance at each time. So that also helps when we launch this franchise in this city, we know there's a fan base that's waiting and ready and wants to show up, which is great. Yep. And then you just have to turn that curiosity of the first time into long-term fandom, which is something across all women's sports spaces, right? You might get someone who's like, what's this new thing? Then you have to grab them and say, we want you here every single game. Carrie, winning brings in a lot of fans. That helps a lot. Get a lot of new eyeballs, getting on the bandwagon for another Gotham championship, for the parade, all the other good stuff. I was talking about the last one, but we can knock on wood for another one. Yeah. How did this franchise build the kind of winning culture that can come twice now in the last 3 years from a low playoff seed to win it all?
Yeah, I can't give enough credit to our GM, to Yael, for really putting together a team and her staff, or honestly for our ownership group and the amount of investment. I think you've seen what that looks like. And to be totally honest, if you buy a team, I think your expectation is, okay, great, we're going to run it like a business, which is true, but also you want to win, and winning costs money. And so you have to be willing to invest and to get the best players, to get the best resources, to adhere to whatever schedule that looks like, additional games, whatever. And same with the front office. You have to hire the right people and be willing to spend there. And so I think that from my point of view, coming in, having been in the league for 6 years now, we've seen some of the teams that have been really successful because they've had the backing of really smart, really committed people. And we got really lucky there with Carolyn. And so I think her and her team have been not only a resource financially, but also from an operations standpoint and across the board. And so that, I can't explain how much that has helped. And also having really great partners, having really great sponsors, having brands, many of whom I'm sure are here, that have been willing to say, hey, yeah, we're going to take a bet on this. We think that like winning is worthwhile because also at the end of the day, particularly in places like New York or big markets, people want to watch winners. They want to watch excellence. And so you're getting new fans at that point from like this inflection point of a winning championship, but then how do you maintain it? How do you get people coming back?
Yeah, then there's an expectation of winning, which you have to keep up with. We're kind of nearing the end here, and I do want to ask a kind of broader, big picture question, because you each have a different perspective coming in from the leagues you're in, from Alliance Fast Pitch, from the things you've done before you got to the leagues you're currently with. So you get to pick your final question. You can either answer what you think people get wrong about women's sports that you'd want to push back on, or your biggest concern when it comes to the future of women's sports and the current exponential growth. Megan.
Oh, God. Badly putting me first. I mean, the exponential growth, I think, speaks to where we are today. We just announced the 9th team, and we're going into year 4. So I think it's maybe not, I think it's a challenge, right? We're going to expand, and we're expanding quickly. And so it's how do we make sure that the infrastructure keeps up with that? And I know that we have, a great ownership group and people behind the scenes supporting that. And, something that is top of mind for everyone is making sure that this is always a professional experience for the athletes, and that never is sacrificed regardless of the momentum that we're seeing. So just a challenge for us as we're expanding, but I think it's going to be a great opportunity to continue to grow the game.
For sure. Jamie?
I'll build on the second question. Because you mentioned Alliance Fast Pitch, a big reason why we built that in the youth space is we're very fragmented. And I think that has been a problem in our sport, too, of just where resources and eyeballs. And so I think that was an initiative that we wanted to do is work together. But you're also seeing it now, right? There's 2 leagues. But I just think our sport staying together and supporting each other at the core is very important as all the outside eyeballs and everything else is happening. So what are we doing as a sport to support our women as we grow this in our second year of the AUSL? So I would just say staying together through this and keeping our softball community strong.
Love that. Carrie?
I'll take the first one. I think that you've obviously seen tremendous growth in the past decade even. I mean, when we started at Angel City, we paid a $2.5 million expansion fee. For the new Columbus team, they are paying a $205 million expansion
250.
fee. Is it 250?
Yeah.
Oh, my numbers are wrong. Point being, it's still 100x.
Yeah.
In 5 years, which is psychotic in a pretty amazing way. And so I think when people what people get wrong is that it's kind of like the boom is over, we're done. Like, yes, it's grown, but like we're in the middle of it right now, and I think that we're really just at the start. I think that there's still so much more to do and so much more upside. And I think the other B section of that is that with that money, okay, great, now everything is as it should be. Players are getting what they need. The salary cap is the correct thing. Everything is up to an elite level, and I think that while we have gone a really long ways, we still have a lot more to do. And we were talking about it earlier, that what has kind of served us to this point maybe isn't necessarily the standard we should be measuring it against. It's what is good enough, what is actually expected for these athletes that are elite and the best of the best of the best. And so while we're continuing to build infrastructure, and I think you're seeing it, the NWSL has completely changed their standards across the board, from training facilities to stadiums, all that. But there still is more to do to have it be even a fraction of what the men are getting and a fraction of what I think our players deserve across any of these leagues. And so even with that continued investment, we need to make sure that it continues to kind of trickle down to the teams, trickle down to the players, to have it be actually impactful. And so still needing brands and other types of sponsors, obviously media partners, to continue to keep investing.
What was yours saying? Keep growing, never stopping? Never
so
stop
close.
stopping?
Always building, never finished.
Oh, that was it. Always building, never finish. I nailed it. Thank you all so much. So insightful. Round of applause for these amazing ladies.
All right. Thanks.
As you could tell, I could talk to them all day. So much to learn about all these new leagues. Also a lot to learn for the woman I'm bringing up here, because she is a Summit first-timer. We are going to give her a big round of applause so that she feels welcome and at home. Emily Kaplan has covered hockey at its highest levels, including the current Stanley Cup playoffs, U.S. hockey at the 2026 Olympics in Milan. We actually got to hang out in Italy together. Please help me welcome for the first time to an ESPNW Summit stage for our USA Hockey Team Keynote conversation, Emily Kaplan!
I hope you guys like some Carly Rae Jepsen like I do. I am so pleased to announce this panel is our three powerhouse women that just took home a gold medal at probably the biggest Olympics in women's hockey history. They're shaping the future of this sport through their poise, their leadership, but let's be honest, most of all, their dominance. So first up, she is a gold medalist. She's a national champion. She's the veteran of this panel at age 25, also a veteran of the red carpet scene after walking the red carpet at the Oscars. Please welcome Hannah Bilka. Baller song, Hannah. Good choice. All right. Next up, she's a true dual threat. She is an elite forward and defender. She is a gold medalist. She's a national champion. Sorry if you've heard that before. And I know we're all fans of the Kelsey family here, but the Kelsey families are big fans of her. Please welcome Layla Edwards.
Am I right here? Oh, that's a terrible picture.
And lastly, I'm so sorry if you've heard this, but she's a gold medalist and a national champion. She's on an absolute heater right now, the youngest woman ever to win an MVP at an Olympics, and also the Patty Kazmaier winner as the best college hockey player in the country. Please welcome, she's also serving up some Raising Cane's and a really great ad with some chicken tenders, Caroline Harvey.
Good song.
Awesome. All right, I think we can all take a seat.
Oh my God. Wait, do I sit here?
All right, I'm going to begin this because I've actually been wondering this for a while. Caroline, your nickname is KK, and like I never know what to call you. Like, firstly, where did the nickname KK come from? Is it cool if anyone who's not your teammate calls you that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Definitely in the hockey world, that's commonly what I'm referred to as. And since I was young, pretty much when I was born, my sister couldn't pronounce my name, and then it stuck like that since, and everyone knows me as KK.
Okay, cool, KK. And Hannah, you grew up in Texas. I know that when you were in tournaments early on, your nickname was Texas because no one could believe you were from there. Is that right?
That is correct. I did tournaments on the East Coast, and I said I was from Texas, and they were like, no way, your name's Texas. So, yeah, I still see some people, and they're like, what's up, Texas? So.
All right, do you prefer Hannah or Texas?
Whatever.
Okay, we can call you Seattle now because you now play for the Seattle PWHL Torrent. And Layla, do you have a nickname? What's your hockey
Pretty
nickname?
boring.
Oh, boo.
Sorry.
Well-
Letty. I get Letty a lot.
Letty?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's usually like at the end.
Yeah, no, I'm different.
Okay, you are different. I know you and KK go way back. Like, when was the first time you guys met?
We were playing in a tournament. I was 10. KK was 12. We were playing in Boston. Yeah, she had really bad style back then, so we weren't friends.
Like what? What's bad style?
Like she had a matte black Easton helmet with like half cage, half bubble.
It's tough.
Yeah, it was bad.
Tough look. Yeah.
Do you have a response?
Yeah, it wasn't great style. Yeah, I would say.
We've improved a lot. We've glowed up. We've won a gold medal now. And you guys have such a special relationship, though, because you've both played at Wisconsin together in the national teams. But I think a lot of people in this audience might know you from your TikToks. Which of you two takes them more seriously?
I think we both do. It's become our #1 priority in life.
Okay. What are we doing from the panel? Can you give them a little clue, or?
No, sorry.
Okay, you guys have
No, I'm
to
just
subscribe.
Can't reveal our secrets. You know.
Okay, fair enough. Like, how long do they actually take to film?
And we're all one-take wonders.
Oh.
Always.
Canada could never. Speaking of Canada, like, I was able to cover you guys at the Olympics, and it was the most dominant team that I had ever seen. Hannah, I'll start with you. Did it feel that way for you? Did you feel that dominant?
Yeah, for sure. I think you look around the locker room and you don't have a weak link. Like, you have Hillary Knight leading team, 5-time Olympian. You look at her, I feel like whenever I got nervous, it was just you have these great leaders around you, and then you have the young core that, some of the best players in the world that are the youngest. So you just have so much confidence in that group. And I think when you put that together, the young and the old, it creates for a very dominant team.
Like, Hillary is such an icon. You have a photo with her growing up, right? Like posing with her, KK?
I think, we all do.
Yeah,
all three of us.
That's amazing. So what is she like now as a leader? Like, how would you describe her stature on the team?
Yeah, she grounds our group. She's very well spoken. She leads by example, and she's always someone we can turn to. She's so consistent within her every day, on and off the ice, and she is a true leader for our group, and we're lucky to have her.
Okay, I want you to take me inside that gold medal game against Canada. So I'm watching from the media tribune, and all I want to know is, like, what are you guys feeling on the bench? Like, right before puck drop, Layla, like, what are the vibes?
A lot of people always say I'm like chill and even-tempered, but right before that game, I was so nervous. I don't think I've ever felt nerves like that before. But the vibes were great. I mean, we were so confident in our group, and obviously we were dominant all tournament, but it was for a reason. It wasn't, it wasn't what word am I looking for? It wasn't, like by accident. Like,
Sure.
We were just dominant because we had that ability, we had that mindset, and we just been together. We just formed like this, I don't know how to describe it. It was so special. We just formed an unbelievable group.
When you have nerves like that, like, when do they settle out? How do they settle out?
Mine didn't settle out to like the third period.
I couldn't tell watching you.
Oh,
You had some sick plays.
I don't know about that. That was not my strongest first 2 periods, but I feel like obviously we were down all game, but we still had that feeling like we come up when it matters.
Hannah, when you think about that game, like, what's the memory that you go back to the most?
I feel like it's just that kind of steady confidence that we had. I didn't feel like, even in between periods, it wasn't, we weren't stressed that we were down. We kind of just had this confidence that we were going to win the whole time. And I know that's easy to say now because it happened, but it just felt like it was the script. Like, Nighter breaking the Olympic record with that tying goal and then winning it in overtime, it just felt like it was meant to be. It was destiny. Yeah.
KK, you're getting the hardest question out of all of them. Out of the 3 of you guys on this panel, who would have been chirping the most in the game?
That's a good question. I feel like we each have our own fair share of chirping. But within that game, I don't know. I feel like we all were saucing out some at some point. But I don't know. It was a heated game. It's always a heated game with Canada. And when the time's right, like, obviously you have to deliver those necessary chirps.
I heard Megan Keller out of the team.
Underrated.
She delivers it.
Underrated, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I had no business chirping that game, so I wasn't.
Layla, you were good.
Yeah, Megan Keller.
Okay.
Sneaky chirper.
What are things about that game? Like, it's such a historic rivalry, right? It gets so much attention from people who don't pay attention to your sport typically. What's something about the USA-Canada rivalry that only you players who play in that game understand? Hannah, you're the veteran. We got to defer to you.
Oh man, I mean, now with the Pro League, you're playing against these players, throughout the season. So I feel like that competitiveness kind of goes away from U.S. and Canada, and even in the pro leagues, like you're on the ice with Canadians, and you're like, I hate them. So the more you play, the more competitive it gets. So I think the Pro League has definitely even heightened that. And then at the Olympics on the highest stage, it's the most competitive on the world stage. So I think that, yeah, it's just so much fun to be a part of and battle with, these guys.
I think that's what people don't understand the dynamics about. Hockey is a beautiful community, right? But it can be a small community, and you all know each other. Like, if people ask you, like, what do you think of Canadian hockey players? Layla, what do you say?
I say I hate them.
Oh,
But no, I'm just kidding. But it's because of how small and tight-knit the community is, you also have so much respect for them. I think it's not a good rivalry if one team's bad and the other's good. So they make it, and we make it, a great rivalry. But yeah, just even some of the players like I looked up to growing up, like Poulin, as much as I have to hate her on the ice, I looked up to her growing up. There's no denying that.
All right, KK, so we talk about this event, like I said off the top. To me, that might have been the most historic women's hockey game ever, just because of the way it inspired so many young fans, boys and girls, to play the game. Like, in the moment, did you appreciate how big it was? And if not, like, when did that actually hit home for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge, obviously, like you said, for women's hockey, women's sports, and even touching little boys and girls. But in the moment, I mean, looking back now, you have that perspective, and you're able to appreciate it and think about the growth it's done and how historic that whole game was, the whole tournament. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helped the sport a lot and helped with that growth, and appreciative of it.
All right, we're talking about growth. We were just talking about it before we came on. The last time you were in New York, you were in the stands, and Hannah, I know you're injured, but your team, the Seattle Torrent, played a game at Madison Square Garden, sold out. I was there. It was electric. Like, when people talk about that PWHL game at MSG, like, what do you hope they took away from it?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like there was so much energy, and all the girls, when they came back, they said that was the most fun hockey game they've ever played in. It was so loud. I know we scored a goal, but the whistle went off, but we couldn't even hear it because the crowd was so loud. So I think just that buzz around women's hockey was kind of a pivotal moment, and we're growing the game, but also at the end of the day, we want to win. Like, we had playoff points on the line, so you're really locking in. But I think at the end of the day, you have to appreciate just the growth of the game in New York City, and one of the best cities in the world.
KK, what was it like in the stands?
It was unreal, yeah. Experiencing it from like that perspective, sitting in the stands, it was so cool. Brought me to tears at some points. Like, it was very emotional, and just so cool to see how far women's hockey, women's sports have come. And like Hannah said, in New York City, the growth of the game in various cities, and I don't know, it's so cool to think like we kind of, like, it's arrived, it's here, it's in the moment. And yeah, like, to think about it looking back, when you're younger, you think about, is there going to be a sustainable league? And now it's here, it's time.
So when you're feeling emotional, like when you're almost in tears, that's what you're thinking of like, wow, look at how far we've come?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Like, what were the opportunities for you girls growing up, especially in Texas? I mean, you couldn't have been playing a lot of girls hockey back then.
No, I didn't play girls hockey until I went to boarding school in high school. So I was the only girl on a boys team, and I kind of just thought that was normal. But I think that was a lot of our, a lot of our childhoods growing up was just the only girl on a boy team. So, it led me to where I am today. But I'm glad that women's hockey has grown, so girls can be on an all-girl team.
Layla, or Letter, what are we calling you?
Letter.
I messed that up.
Letty.
Well, you grew up in Cleveland. What was that like?
Yeah, they're obviously Cleveland now is a much bigger hockey city, but at the time it was not. So of course, I was the only boy.
You can be whatever you want to be.
I was the only girl on all the boys teams I played for up until high school, when I went to boarding school, where I also played with Caroline, KK, and Yeah, it's grown so much since, and it also makes me emotional thinking. Now there are all girls teams in Cleveland, and they're doing very well, and those girls are reaching, levels they never thought they could. So yeah, it's great to see.
Okay. The elephant of the room is after you guys won, there was this viral moment where President Trump calls the boys and asks them about the White House. And I don't want to relitigate that at all because we shouldn't have however the people talk about you define your team. But after that, there was so much more attention on your team and opportunities that came to you. So I want to know what was next. Like, what came from that? Layla?
Oh, so many things. I mean, obviously you want to keep shining the light on the fact that we made history. We both won in the same year. And obviously we had an incredible, dominant Olympics. Neither of us lost. But the amount of opportunity, like, obviously I'm sure you've seen the Flavor Flav. We're getting together in Vegas and like.
So what's happening, right?
Yeah. Like,
when are we going to Vegas? Not we. I'm not going.
End of July. Oh,
I hear July 17th,
Thank you.
says a source.
Thank you. Yeah, July 17th.
What do you guys want to do with Flavor Flav?
Everything,
Okay, what were some of the opportunities that came to you?
Yeah, I was gonna mention, like Layla said, the opportunity with Flavor Flav. I think we got offered another opportunity. Was in Seattle.
Brandy Carlisle.
Yep.
Sicko.
Really cool. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, some amazing opportunities came of it, and we've with the men, they had such a successful run. We did too. Obviously, had some crazy historic moments, but more importantly, is we support one another. We have each other's back, and that's what's not seen. And yeah, we truly did. And after both winning, we were in the cafeteria till 3 4 a.m. Supporting one another and just cherishing the moment and making the most of it.
You're all over 21, so I can ask, how do you get beers in the cafeteria? Are they there? Hockey players love beers.
No, not myself. No.
Okay. How was the pizza in the cafeteria, by the way?
It was good.
Yeah. Oh.
The focaccia was really good.
Okay.
That was our go-to.
Focaccia. Yeah. It was Italy. Come on, it had to be.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I was told in Italy we're not supposed to do this. Apparently, this is derogatory. I know. Any Italians want to correct me?
That explains a lot.
Hannah, one of the coolest opportunities for you. So Hillary Knight gets invited to the Oscars, and her fiance is unavailable. Poor fiance. So she brings you as her +1. What is that experience like?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. She texted me, do you want to go to the Oscars? And I said, is this a TikTok trend? Is this a prank or something? And I FaceTimed her, and she's like, no, the actual Oscars. I was like, it's Tuesday and it's on a Sunday. But yeah, so lucky that she was able to take me. I was hurt, so we made the most of the opportunity and just represented women's hockey, which was really cool. And then there were some women's figure skaters there too, and got to meet up with them, kind of reflect on the village and stuff, and just party with them. So it was an incredible experience.
I'm watching Layla's eyes. She's like, that would have been such a good TikTok. Missed opportunity.
No, I was, especially with the heated rivalry guys there.
Yeah.
I had a lot of ideas in mind, but I didn't get invited.
That show is so good.
I know.
Did you watch it as a team, or did everyone just happen to watch it?
I think everyone just
Yeah. Anyone under a rock. I'm curious at the Oscars, was there any interactions you had where someone found out you were a women's hockey player and what that was like?
So we ended up talking with Kurt Russell, who was Herb Brooks in Miracle. And it's so funny. We watched that movie every day in the village. It's
every day?
Every day. It just fires us up. Me and Megan Keller, we would be like, okay, time to watch Miracle. So I've
while we were doing our homework.
So I've probably seen it 100 times.
Great moments are born from great opportunities.
Yeah, and I was, when I met Kurt Russell, I was just ripping off quotes. It was like, this girl, God, get away from me. But no, it's so cool. I mean, he's an icon. And then we also met John Hamm, who was just a huge hockey fan from St. Louis. Did the cup party, so he was really fired up to meet us and showed him our medals, and it was really cool.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
All right, I need to know about the homework you guys actually have to do in the village. Were you really doing homework in the village?
Yeah, every day.
So everyone doesn't know, they're leaving right now, Layla and KK, to go to Madison to go walk at college graduation, University of Wisconsin. So let's give it up. Did your professors, did you give them the heads up of oh, I'll be in Milan for a work trip? No?
No, that was not going to cut it. No, I had to be as specific as possible.
You didn't have a Penn State education like I did, I guess.
Oh.
My professors would have been chill. KK, what were you doing in the village?
What was I doing?
Homework-wise?
Oh, lots of homework, just everything pretty much. Yeah, we would get together every day, just grind it out, and try to lock in for the limited downtime we had. And yeah, we had to manage while we were gone.
Okay, when you're talking about grinding it out, one of the most impressive things to me about Layla is she has played forward at an elite level, but at the Olympics, we see you playing D. So I'm not going to ask this to you. I'm going to ask it to KK.
Goodness.
What was the first moment where you saw Layla playing D where she absolutely humbled someone?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple memorable times that come to mind, but specifically when we played Canada leading up to the Olympics, I think it was a rivalry series, and I remember there's offensive pursuit coming from Canada, and she had a great, we call it surfing, gap in hockey, like as D, and she shut down the play right away, and it was her ability to completely just shut it down. And she walked through probably, I think, a couple girls on her team and then toe drag one of their defensemen bar down. Just end to end. And then it was a great combination of her offensive skill and then her defensive ability to shut down the play. So I was really impressed.
Please tell me you remember this play, Layla.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. It's better
it
than
was
you
in
against
Buffalo.
Canada? Is this the gold medal game?
Yeah, much better.
All right, and you know KK so well, right? Like you've played together for so long. When is she at her funniest?
KK, when is she at her funniest? Trying to keep it appropriate. No,
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
It's getting to be noontime.
I would just have to say, honestly, when we're just chilling in the apartment and thinking of TikTok ideas or just thinking of silly things to do, especially in our last moments together. That sounds really dramatic, but we've been playing together forever, so there's a chance we get separated. But yeah, I would just say we're always having a good time, no matter what it is, even if we're just working out in a serious manner. It's just we know how to have a good time.
Did you feel that with your team in Milan? Hannah, what were the vibes? How did you guys keep it light?
Oh, it's always good vibes. We're always having fun off the ice, and yeah, we're going into these big games, but I feel out of the rink we're just enjoying the Olympic experience. So much coffee runs, just exploring the city. I don't know. It's nice to get kind of your mind off of hockey for a little bit, and there's so many amenities in the village. You're like a kid in a candy store just running around. Yeah.
What was the best souvenir y'all brought back?
The gold medal.
Oh, duh. Mic drop. So another thing, I've given Wisconsin a little bit of airtime, but Hannah Bilka here went to Ohio State, and the Buckeyes won a national championship in 2024. They were playing against you two. I want to know about these dynamics, though, because a couple days later, you all have to get together and go to Worlds. What was that like? We'll start from the winning perspective.
Oh, okay.
You won most recently. We'll get into your most recent.
I think that's when the competitive nature comes out the most when we're playing against each other. It's a lot more fun to wearing the same jersey as them, but when you're wearing the opposite jersey, it's like enemies. Yeah, we're chirping each other, but it's not personal. On the ice, it is what it is, but off the ice, yeah, we got to go to Worlds and try to win a gold medal. So there's definitely I'd say a respectful competition.
And you weren't able to really celebrate, right? You didn't have the high street celebration. You got to go on a business trip right after.
Yeah, it was 48 hours. We're on a plane to Utica, but wouldn't have it any other way to represent the U.S.
Beautiful Utica. Obviously, it's tough to get to a national title game. It takes such a grind. It's a long season, a culmination, and losing in that fashion. Having to see her face a couple days later. Layla, what was that like?
I wanted to punch her. I'm just kidding. I think a lot of us do a great job of, kind of leaving it on the ice. As much as it's talking, we work for that all year, but it's we got to flip the page. We're all trying to win a gold medal together. So of course the first day it's a little sensitive, but they're all great people, and it's at least someone deserving of it won, not as sour.
Okay. Well, I promised to mention the Badgers are the reigning champions. You two won this year. Caroline, KK, what was the best part of winning?
Best part of winning, I think we just had a special group, just like the U.S. team this year, and when you bring that together and have that type of group and and then you're able to win at the end of it all. It really is the cherry on top. So it was what was happening in the locker room, and to do it with those people, it meant the world.
All right, Layla, I mentioned off the top, but your Cleveland connection, the Kelsey family became big fans of yours. Like, for everyone who doesn't know, how did that all come about?
So the Kelseys and I are from the same city and same town, Cleveland Heights. And I remember when I first made the national team, they like gave me a shout out on their podcast, and it was super cool and kind of just supported from a distance. And then they shouted me out again, like right as we were going to the Olympics. And then Travis Kelce donated to my family's fund to make it over there to the Olympics, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Good people.
Yeah.
We'll give a clap to good people.
Yes, good people. But he did it anonymously too. So it's not even like he was doing it for.
How did you find out it was him?
Well, we have my really good family friend is his like best friend. And so like he told us, but I don't no idea how it got out. Like no clue. And it was everywhere when I looked, but it was really cool. And then when I get over there, I meet Jason Kelce, and I was on Kylie's podcast, and just really cool, down-to-earth family, like great people outside of their athletic abilities that maybe a lot of people don't get to see.
Let's be honest, Kylie is like the total star of that family.
Oh, she's my favorite, Kelce.
Yeah.
And I told them that, so I have no shame.
Okay, cool. So we all know. Like, what's the thing that stood out most after meeting her and getting to know her?
I think just how like down to earth and normal she is. Like she was just so funny, and I just think they're just good people who are so humble and just carry themselves really well.
So like on this topic of fame, right? And I think people now know you as household names, and they know you as gold medalists, and this is such an important moment for hockey. Like we're always talking this sport, grow the game, grow the game. Do you feel pressure to build your personal brand, to be visible, do things like this, be a role model? Or do you feel like if I just take care of my business on the ice, all of that will come and follow? Hannah?
I mean, I think women's hockey does a great job of being social on social media and off the ice and kind of showing their personality. It's a culture that's growing, and I think if people kind of know the face behind the mask, you kind of you get more appreciation for watching our games. And so I think it's a lot of fun, how, the TikToks and, but they're learning who they are off the ice. And I think that's really fun. And you can kind of grow those relationships with players and kind of that fan experience that it's really fun to get to know the players.
KK, your perspective?
Yeah, like Bilka said, I think like hockey, they do a good job of like posting on social media, helping grow the game and, put all of us on like that platform. But for ourselves, I think it's, sticking true to who we are, being authentic. That's what me and Layla try to focus on a lot is, just putting our true selves out there and, just promoting content and trying to be active on it.
All right, Layla, come on. You got to answer it too.
Yeah, I think it's just really important to know that we're people too, and that, we have personalities, and it's just been fun to put our personalities
I wish you would
out
show your personality a little. I'm not getting any. I'm kidding. You guys are fantastic.
No, but it's great. Any chance to show our personality, I think it just allows us to connect with the fan base better too, and it's been really fun.
Again, like I talk about your dominance. If you weren't following this team from the beginning, the way that you guys were clicking on all levels, there was so much depth, right? Like it wasn't just a star player, everyone was contributing. But like when people talk about the 2026 US women's gold medal team, what do you hope is their takeaway? What are they talking about? Hannah.
Oh man, I feel like just how close our group was. Like it's so cliche, but you have these feelings in championship teams that it's really hard to come by. And I think that closeness with our group, like in 20 years, I can hit up anyone and, talk to them. So I think just that off-ice camaraderie was so special, and you just wanted to bottle it up and keep it. But, you can't do that. And now there's players, retiring, and you really appreciate the moment when you're in it.
KK, you were telling us when we were talking about this panel that it wasn't just when you got to Milan. There was a huge cycle beforehand, a lot of quiet work behind the scenes that got your team that close. Like, talk about what that was like.
Yeah, definitely. I think more goes into it than just this year leading up to it. It was the past 4 years, definitely rebuilding and just the structure of our team. And I think, like Bilka touched on earlier, we have a great combination of young an old age mix, and that it brought us together. We had a great balance, and over the past 4 years, we've really been building for something special, and it showcased on the ice.
I want to know where we're going in this sport. Layla, in 4 years of us sitting on these panel, what are some of the questions or topics we're going to be talking about? Where's women's hockey going?
Great question. I really hope, there's more teams, there's more fans, but I think at the rate it's going right now, that's a very strong possibility. And I'm really, really excited for the future of women's hockey and just women's sports in general, just seeing the growth. It's such an exciting time to be either a fan of it or any part of it. So, I'm hoping in 4 years, maybe there's 15 teams, 20 teams, and all over, the North America. I'm just really excited.
Growing up, it strikes me, all of you had the same role model of Hillary Knight, right? You all have a photo with Hillary. Now there's young girls that want a picture with each of you and many of your teammates. There's so many more role models. Growing up, what was your women's hockey consumption?
Just really I'd say the 2014 Olympics. I watched that game, but outside of that, we didn't have, a pro league to look up to. I was, my parents asked, what did I want to do? And I was like, I want to go to the NHL, but.
Still can, but I think you'll be a pretty good PW player.
Yeah, so now that, there's young girls and boys coming to our game, I'm like, it's so special. I think you can look back and really appreciate it. You're in warm-ups and you just toss a puck over to a little girl and it makes her day. And you don't know, she might be in the PW one day. It's little moments like that that we're growing the game. That's so special.
I know a lot of your teammates, when they went to Madison Square Garden, they were like, this is amazing, but we actually get this all the time at Climate Pledge Arena. What is a game in Seattle like?
It's electric. It's so much fun to play and be the home team. And I know for away teams, it's really hard, but I'm biased. I think we have the best fans in the league, and it's just so much fun to play on. I feel like as a fan, they just have a party out there. They're cheering us on. They're so loud. It's a really fun place to play hockey.
Lilly and KK, what are your favorite environments you've played hockey in?
It's got to be easily at home in Wisconsin.
LeBon, yeah.
Yeah. Or honestly, wherever we go, it's a home game. Our fans travel so well. I think, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say LeBon.
There's such a history there, right? How would you describe those fans? Because they've got to be pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, they're awesome. They show up every night consistently. Sellouts all the time. They bring the energy. It really feels like a community there. We're lucky, definitely have the best, might be biased, but best fans in the nation, yeah.
You can clap back.
In college hockey, yeah.
Well, you haven't played in Seattle yet, so
in college.
come play and we'll enjoy it together.
What other athletes do you draw inspiration from? We talked about the role models in women's hockey. Are there other people out there that you look of? There's a lot of things that I like what they're doing.
I went to college at Boston College for undergrad, and Charlotte North is just the face of women's lacrosse, and I think she does so many things. She's a broadcaster. She's
a TikToker.
Yeah,
I've seen her TikToks.
She's a TikToker. But the women's lacrosse doesn't have as much support, but she's really paving the way. And she, lucky to call her my friend, and just in Boston hanging out with her. So I think she's a great role model that all women's players can look up to.
Layla, same question to you.
Yeah, I've actually really been into the WNBA lately, and
You're not alone.
Okay, good. I love Asia Wilson. I think she's incredible, and there's so many people in that league that I love to watch, and even their stories and the way they carry themselves outside the court, it's really cool.
KK?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about recently. I feel like Alyssa Liu is paving the way for figure skating and the things she's done, and she's at a similar age to us, or a bit younger, honestly. But it's so cool to see what she's doing with her platform and the positivity she's spreading.
Were you able to spend any time with her in the village?
Yeah, her and Amber. Yeah, both of them, honestly. Yeah, but they're phenomenal, obviously athletes, but even better people, and they're just so down to earth. And we had some quality time with them for sure.
I love that you say down to earth, because I always have these stereotypes. So when we get to the rink, it's oh, there's the figure skaters doing their thing. It's not like that. They're not the divas that I think they are.
No, not at all. Yeah, they're human like everyone else, and yeah, they're just amazing people.
What were the vibes in the village? Who were you hanging out with most?
My laptop, homework.
So would you bring it down? Like, were you just in your dorm room doing the laptop and your homework, or?
Yeah, or we would take it to like, there's so many like lounges and just really cool places to do work. But no, in all seriousness, like we hung out with each other a lot. And honestly, in the lounge on our floor, it was like a lot of figure skaters and speed skaters. That was really cool.
How did you guys pass time? Like, it's nighttime. Are you watching other events? Are you playing cards? Telling stories?
Yeah, we got to go to a lot of other sporting events, the speed skaters, the figure skaters, which was kind of a welcome to Olympic moment. And just cheering on the U.S. was really cool.
So in speed skating, Brittany Bowe, who is now Hillary Knight's fiance, was a competitor, but she was not her fiance when the Olympics began. Layla, I heard you were the one that found out in the training room. Was this you?
Wait, yes.
Okay, so how did Hillary Knight propose during the Olympics 1 to 2 days before your gold medal game?
Oh, it was crazy. I was leaving my room and Hillary was on like a stationary bike in the hallway. I was like, hey, Hill, and how's Brittany? She goes, oh my God, let me show you something. And then she shows me her ring. But then I saw the video, and as you can see, they're doing it right over a grate. And I didn't even notice that. And when someone told me that, my stomach like dropped. But I don't know, when she told me, I started crying. I was just so happy. I'm like, just to share this moment with someone I grew up idolizing, and you know, no one better to have such a cool experience.
KK, what does that say about Hillary as your leader, that she would do something like this so nonchalantly before the biggest game of a lot of your lives?
Exactly. That's a great word that describes her, like nonchalant. And I remember specifically too, we were in our locker room, and obviously like Layla knew, like I don't think many other people knew, but she like disappeared for some time, and then everyone was like, do you see her social media post or like whatever? We're all freaking out. We're like, where did she go? Like, we want to like congratulate her. We want to celebrate this moment. And then she came back and all the girls went crazy. And yeah, it just speaks about her. She's so nonchalant. And I mean, it was just such a special time. We're all so happy for her.
When you all came back from the Olympics, it was such a whirlwind. What was like the one thing you craved back home just to ground yourself?
Probably just like American food. The village food was definitely repetitive, so definitely like kind of have some cheat meals.
Fair enough. Cheat time?
Yeah, some cheat meals, and even just cooking at home.
Yeah, honestly, when you're on the road that long, all you want is like, let me make my food.
Yeah.
Definitely that, and Chipotle. That's a go-to.
What a good
Mexican
Team USA
cuisine.
sponsor.
Yeah, so
Be a
good.
company woman.
Yes.
No, the last thing I want to leave us with is this topic. We were always talking about in this sport, there was an equity gap, that the men always had more resources, and we see it shrinking right now. Where are we at now? Like, you train a lot over the summer, you're skating with the boys. Do we feel like we're on that level, or where are the gaps? Where can we fill in? Where do we need more support?
I mean, I feel like on the coaching side, there's a lot of opportunities for women. The first NHL coach, Jessica Campbell, I mean, I'm sure there's so many other women that are eligible for that job. So I think we could, there's definitely progress, but there's a lot of ways to go.
Can I say something? I was struck at the Olympics looking at how many, and your coach is fantastic. We love Robo, but there were not many women behind the bench.
One.
Same question to you girls. Like, where do you feel like the gap is?
I think it's gotten a lot smaller, which is incredible, and I think at the rate we're going, it's going to continue to get smaller. But yeah, I think Bilka hit it right on the head. That was great. The coaching, I think, you know, we deserve to be in those spots, and I think just giving us the opportunity.
I would say the same thing. I mean, it was phenomenal, like to see her on that stage, and you know the success Jessica Campbell had. And yeah, women can do it too, and to be in those positions, it's important to close that gap. And like Layla said, it's definitely closed, but there's definitely still progress to be had.
Well, you are all rock stars. You're an inspiration to so many, and you crushed this panel. So thanks for making it easy. A round of applause for our lovely gold medalists. I think you guys can all stand up and leave now. And I am so excited to announce our next host. You can find her on College Game Day, the women's basketball, hosting sports centers in the evenings. And honestly, anytime I turn on ESPN or open up my Instagram feed, I see her because she's ubiquitous. Please welcome the fabulous Christine Williamson. Oh, girl, she's serving with a fit. It's so good to see you.
Hi, how are you? I heard that you just said you see me on Instagram all the time. Do not go to my Instagram.
Why not?
It's a lot. It is a lot.
Oh.
Oh, they're moving furniture.
It's
behind
okay.
us.
We're gonna
It's a
come
lot.
stand
Hi, guys. How are you? Wow, you guys look great. I can't really see you, but I know you look great. How was your panel?
The panel was fantastic.
Okay.
These girls are sick. I
Yeah.
feel so good about the future of women's hockey.
Yeah.
They're all under the age of 25, and they comport themselves, and they have so much poise. Like,
Yeah.
they're such great role models
I
for
love
the next
that.
generation.
I love that. Does it make you feel old?
So effing old.
Emily's not old, by the way, but
I was born
anytime
in
I get around, like,
1991. I'm ancient right now.
that's not old. Okay,
That's
well,
not
I'm so excited to
old.
hang out for a little bit. We're going to talk to some AUSL athletes.
Ooh.
A little softball action. Anybody love softball out here? Of course they do. Okay, thanks so much, Emily.
Okay,
We'll
I'm
see you later.
excused. Bye, Christine.
Bye. Okay, as I mentioned, I am so excited for this next group of panelists. Softball is really coming up. If you guys haven't been paying attention, you're behind. And the AUSL is really taking off right now. In their second season in 2026, it's going to be huge. Let's welcome the AUSL ladies to the stage, starting with Odyssey Alexander Bennett. Oh, cute. Did you pick your walkout song?
I did.
You're going to sit next to me right here.
Okay, thank
Okay, I love it. I love it. Next up is Sis Bates.
The song.
Next up, Michaela Edenfield. Dallas Escobedo McGee.
I know we're all so close.
Anna Gold. My chest up. I know. Chest tall. And then finally, Kenzie Hansen McKenzie.
So like.
Double whammy.
Yay, ladies!
Hey.
Okay, let's chat. You guys all look so great. You're all representing your teams. I love that for you guys. I want to mention, you guys, as I said earlier, AUSL is really going into the second season and really kind of coming into their era. They just announced a partnership, 90 games across ESPN, ABC, CBS Sports Network, MLB Network, and for the first time ever, ESPN Deportes. There are going to be 90 games this 2026 season. And today, all these ladies up here, I said they were representing. They're representing Chicago, Portland, Texas, Utah, Carolina, and Oklahoma City. So you can really feel that they're in their growth era. Ladies, when you think about the AUSL, I'll start with you, Odyssey, and just the growth that you've seen over the last year, what stands out to you?
I mean, just the opportunities given to, you know, these girls. Like Anna Gold, she got a golden ticket. Michaela got a golden ticket. It's like Willy Wonka. Like, like just to see how that has grown. I mean, I'm amazed, and I just can't wait to step on the field with, you know, the girls that just received their golden ticket. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm really curious, Sis, when you think about being at the ground floor of a league like this, because you don't see that very often, right? What does that feel like to you?
Yeah, incredible. There weren't opportunities like this when I was young, so I watched a lot of baseball on MLB, so what an incredible opportunity to be in that shoe and have little girls look up to us and know that this is a real possibility if they want to play professional softball and make a living out of it. It's really incredible.
And you just mentioned the fact that if you want to play professional softball, it wasn't something that when you were younger, you saw women doing, especially in the States. So Michaela, when you think about the representation that you guys get to do at this level, what do you think about?
I think about my younger coach, like I think about 12U coaches saying that, you know, softball, you're never gonna make money playing softball, but you can have softball help you make a living. And now we're at the point that like we can have softball as a living, and I think that's the big part in the buy-in that we're seeing. And again, like if your dreams, if you wanna play softball and go pro, like it is very accessible now and making it legitimate.
And Sis just mentioned the support from MLB. Dallas, it's huge, right? You see it with the NBA and the WNBA, but how important is that partnership for you guys?
I think it just continues to create opportunity. Like, it gives you outlets to wherever you want to go with this sport. And I think that just having that partnership has already, like last night going to the Yankees game, has already opened eyes, one to myself as a new player in this league, but overall, like, it just, again, endless opportunities with this new partnership.
And Anna, I'm so curious because you guys have like a very busy week. It was actually crazy when we were talking to you guys preparing for this conversation, and you're like, oh, we're going to be in New York, we're going to be here, there, everywhere. Just this entire reception from everybody and the support that you've seen so far. What stands out to you?
Yeah, I think just the support from all these different, sponsorships, the MLB, and I think we have to say yes to all these opportunities, right? I think they're so cool, and really what we're doing here, it's bigger than us. Yes, we love playing softball, but the bigger purpose of this is to grow the game for generations to come so they can make a lot of money doing it,
Yeah. Mackenzie, anything stand out to you about the last week?
I mean, absolutely. Something that stands out to me is just the support, like kind of coincide with the MLB and everything, being able to open up those avenues of partnerships like MLB, Sephora, ESPN, being able to kind of navigate what's that like being a young woman and creating a living for ourselves playing softball. So being able to not only do that, but travel the world playing the game that we love is just kind of the best living we could possibly to be honest.
Okay, sis, you're one of the players that is stepping onto the field as a part of a brand new expansion team. She's going to be in Portland. When you think about building a culture surrounding a franchise, what does that feel like? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I feel like we kind of have a cheat code because our head coach and GM drafted like the most amazing humans, and that's what I think is at the core of culture is great humans that are also really good at softball. So I'm excited to kind of build on that. And I'm from California, played at Washington. So Pacific Northwest is like my jam. So I'm excited to be there and create something like Anna was saying for future to come, like these little girls can come out to games in Portland and say, yes, I want to do that. And they have that accessible to them.
And I think something that's very unique about you, Kenzie, is you played softball in Oklahoma, not too far from OKC in Norman. And then obviously you were playing for the OKC Spark, and now they're a part of AUSL. What is it like in that community, in the Oklahoma City community, and also being able to get some of your fans, I would imagine, from Norman?
Yes, one thing about Oklahoma is their softball fans are die-hard, definitely. I would personally say that Oklahoma is kind of like the mecca of softball right now, just with us hosting the Olympics in 2028 as well, plus adding the pro team. The fans are just extremely engaged. Like I said, die hard. They can get a little bit rowdy, but for me personally, I grew up in Southern California as well, so moving so far from home and establishing that family out there, being able to bring my fans from college to the market of AUSL in the professional league, I think is just tremendous because it grows the game even more so, and bringing the fans to the Olympics furthermore, because that stadium holds 15,000 people. So being able to bring all of them as well as the game continues to grow there, I think is just going to be super great, not only for us, but for the future generation as well.
She mentioned that she had a cheat code. I feel like you definitely have a cheat code. You're in Oklahoma City. It's like probably, like you said, the mecca of softball right now. Anna, you were Rookie of the Year last season. Give it up for Anna.
Thank you.
Very casual, very casual. How do you take the momentum from last season and what you were able to do and go into this season?
Yeah, I mean, being named Rookie of the Year last year was just such a blessing, especially in this league with such talent. And it definitely gave me confidence and just a sense of knowing that I'm right where I belong. But I think in any sport, you can never get too comfortable. So each season is a new season. So just building off of that, but just recognizing that I still have to work hard, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help my team win. And when you do that, I think good things happen.
Love that. Okay, can we talk about Odyssey? She's next to me, and she played pregnant last year, you guys.
I did do that.
And then she had a baby, and now she's going into this season.
I did that.
When you think about everything that you went through in the last year, how were you able to balance all of those things?
Honestly, I would say one, shout out to the AUSL, because playing pregnant, I'm like, I need popcorn, I need
Look at her!
Listen, and they made it happen. But I will say, just like mentally, the part of it is, just learning how to give myself grace and just always like trusting the competitive side of myself. Like, I've always been competitive, and physically things change, your body changes, your priorities change, your routine changes, but my love for the game didn't. That didn't. And if anything, like, I'm playing for something so much bigger now. So it means a lot more. to go into this second season with her.
Yeah, I was curious how you felt like motherhood changed how you approached playing softball. How would you describe that?
I mean, for me, it didn't change.
Yeah.
It didn't change. I have all the support I need, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. AUSL, I can't be more grateful for that. My family can't be more grateful for that. They definitely give us the space to, one, play as a mother. So thankful for that.
Going through that process, is there anything that stands out to you that you wish you would have known before you went through it?
I would say I was hesitant to tell everyone I was pregnant. One, because everyone was so concerned. I was like, I'm fine. Like, I didn't forget how to play softball. I was fine. But honestly, having the support after I did, release that I was pregnant, it meant so much. So that definitely stood out to me. How like protective they were. Like, they'd be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I played softball before. I promise." But the support definitely stood out.
That's amazing. Okay, Michaela, can we all look at Michaela's makeup really fast?
Oh, girl.
She did this herself, and she does this all the time. It looks so good. I actually was getting makeup right next to her in the bathroom when she was doing it. She was doing a whole video, a whole get ready with me. It was amazing. How long does it take you to do your eyeshadow and your full face?
If I'm locked in, locked in being keyword there. Like that 30 to 40 minutes. It's like I got to get my base routine done. I've got it like pretty advanced now. I get it down pat around that 5 to 7 minute mark. But once the eyebrows are good, then we're looking at colors. And I think the fun part for me is like what I like to call is the razzle dazzle. And it's been something that growing up, I went through a little bit of bullying all the way till probably 11th grade. And there's a little bit of bounds that us women, we go through of finding our confidence and wanting to present ourselves to the highest standard, right? But at the same time, choosing it for myself versus for others. And that was the difference for my makeup going into my freshman year of college. Like, my teammates absolutely loved it. I'd always ask my POs, like, what color do you want today? And the next thing I know, it wasn't just to my team, it was to my fan base and to the FSU community. So
I think it's huge that you mentioned your mental health and how this kind of helped you channel something, right? It is Mental Health Awareness Month. Shout out to Mental Health Girlies. How did that impact your play on the field?
I think for identity purposes, right? Sometimes as softball players, you get cooped up in your sport and you put almost all of your identity within the sport. And the biggest part, and I think that separates from the good and the great, is the people that have identity outside of their sport and they're able to maintain that like healthy relationship with themselves, right? Because at the end of the day, I have to give my all to my sport, yes, but like I'm a human being first, right? And I think for me, like the check-in with the makeup, like being about the people around me, just really centers me and it makes me enjoy like my present moment. So I would take any type of makeup request for my little girls because the representation means everything. When I see a little girl that looks like me and she's got like a little glitter on, like me, younger me is like in tears about that, right? But it's like, it's really impactful because I see how I wanted that when I was younger.
That
So
is
to
so
represent
beautiful.
and be, it's so much more, right? We talk about it all the time, so much more.
That is so beautiful. Okay, so your golden ticket moment went incredibly viral when everybody saw it. So let's take a look at some of the ones from this past season.
Players that are presented with the golden tickets have been drafted
to one of 6 teams to play for the upcoming AUSL season.
to Paige.
For our very own Texas Tech Red Raider, Nigel Cannon.
Oh, it's so fun. I think all of those moments that you see really speak to what you guys were talking about earlier, like being a young girl and being able to see what this league represents, right, in those moments. But when you think about that moment, Michaela, that you had when you got your golden ticket, how did that kind of lay the groundwork of who you are in the AUSL now?
Oh my goodness. I mean, how far I've come from that moment at the same time too. For a little bit of background, our senior weekend got canceled due to a little incident at the university, but we ended up doing a whole fan day event just for us seniors. And again, I talk about like the fans and the community that we had at Florida State. And I got presented my golden ticket, and I had all of my best people around me. It like gets me a little tearjerker every single time because you just never know. You never know. We put in the time, the dedication, and you think like, man, like I really belong, like you guys chose me, and like to see the love from all sides. And again, it wasn't even a game day, it was a fan day, and like everyone showed up and showed out. So just to see the support and the people that I love the most, being there with me in that moment just, absolutely means the world to me.
I know, yeah.
I know. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I think like it was just a genuine shock. Like I remember looking around and I was like, what's the AUSL video doing on the video board, right? Like what's going on? And I like see people like start to pinch and poke my sides. I'm like low-key looking around. I'm like, maybe Janai? I'm like, I don't even know if this is gonna be me. And I think that's the fun part of like where I was last year. I was keen on living in the present. So taking a note from that moment and enjoying where I'm at and where I'm at with these girls. Very, very blessed.
A few ladies obviously getting emotional with what Michaela's describing. Dallas, why so?
Well, I think it's just, I mean, this person will be like my 12th or 13th season as a professional. And so just seeing like one where I was like asked like, hey, do you think you'd still want to play like going out of college, to now it's like receiving the golden tickets, to seeing just, again, growth and just stability in the league and being able to have the opportunity to continue to play. And I think, as an international athlete lately and coming back here to the States, I'm just so excited to see like an outsider looking in, like, hey, like look at what they've done and look what's more to come. And so now I get to be a part of it. I think this is just absolutely the most incredible opportunity. So yeah, I get a little teary-eyed. I'm like, dang, that would have been so cool, but I'm so happy for them now. I'm like, oh, yes, girl. Like, we did it. Like, so yeah, but I'm a crier anyway.
Yeah.
So
see somebody cry, you start crying.
I'm just like, oh, I'll cry with you. Let's go. But no, I'm just so happy, like, just to see that the joy that brought to you right now. I just saw your video. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would be the same way. But yeah, no, just again, growth and just seeing the happiness that this opportunity brings everybody.
And you speak to the growth of the league. What do you think the league represents? When we came out of that video, I said that, you know, that kind of encapsulates all of it. But when you look at it, what do you see?
Just power, positivity, women, like all around. I think that there are really strong women that I've met that are at the top of this league, and people that are, again, creating opportunity with the partnerships like Sephora. Like, how cool is that to come onto the field and feel represented by a power brand just like that, as well as the support with MLB. But I think just overall, again, like positive power and just women at the top is so amazing.
Anna, you were also getting a little emotional, all of us were. When you think about what AUSL represents just globally, nationally, what stands out to you?
Yeah, like Dallas was saying, I think empowerment in women and not putting us in one box. Like, we are truly able to be our whole authentic self in this league, on the field. You know, we can be strong, we can be loud, we can be pretty, we can wear pink, we can wear makeup, you know, and just showing that little girls that, like, you're not limited to one thing. You can do anything you put your mind to. And just putting it on a big stage, I think, globally, just hopefully inspiring younger generations to come.
And Mackenzie, when you were talking earlier about OKC being kind of like this softball hub, I feel like it kind of represents what a lot of people, especially on this stage, hope it becomes in every single city. How do you think that you try to help grow the sport everywhere and across the country?
Yes, definitely setting an example for the future generations. I think that getting that buy-in, not only from the younger girls, but the families that are bringing them out to games and getting our viewership up. I think that in college, there are certain games that are getting millions of viewers on ESPN now. Right. And back when, like 10 years ago, that was not happening. So we're getting events pushed just to watch softball now, which is just kind of huge for young women to see, like, oh, I don't want to turn on the baseball game or the basketball game because I want to watch these competitive women get after it. And I think that just goes to show what Anna was saying about you can be a strong, loud, beautiful, like big and strong woman and still be celebrated, which I feel like kind of goes against a lot of woman culture, I guess, in the history of being a woman.
Yeah.
And we don't fit that stereotype, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So being able to show that on that national and international stage is huge.
So as you guys go into the second season of the AUSL, Michaela, is there anything that stands out to you about your first year that you learned?
I think for me, like going for the rookie year, I know all of us were just, let's sit down. This is the first of the first. It didn't matter whether if it was veteran, rookie, like we all had like a moment of like first one inaugural. This is a really good moment. Like, let's really enjoy this and see what we can go on from here. But going into year two, like now that we have the locations, we have the fan base, we're giving back to the people. And I think that's the really fun part. And it's going to be so cool to see how neat and like niche our fan bases become. And I'm really, really excited for what that's going to look like in our market piece. But honestly, on the softball end of the spectrum, like I'm really excited to play. This is my first time having a 9-month off season. So putting that into perspective, like some people don't truly understand the amount of effort it takes to be a woman, professional athlete, to be a woman in professional sports, and the time and dedication for those that don't work in NCAA and coaching. Like, you really have to make sure you're, hitting all your balls, checking off all your lists, but super excited going into year two.
I am curious, Odyssey, what the preparation has been as you go into year two. Obviously, your situation was very unique, but how has that looked for you?
I mean, it's been mentally tough, honestly. You have a baby. But I do own a softball facility where I'm from, and, it's very flexible. I can bring my baby in there when I want. I can do lessons when I want. I can train when I want, train others when I want. So, I mean, that's made it, pretty easy for me. So I'm very, grateful for that and that opportunity. So, and it's an all-female facility.
Okay.
It's like all women.
I love that.
All softball, all women. Just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, I know, I love that. Wait, okay, so we're going to talk a little bit later. Actually, my next panel that I'm doing is talking about building female-based facilities and what's important. What do you think is most important now that you have an all-female facility that you work with? Like,
I literally
what is
think
the most important thing?
It's all women.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, certain facilities you go in and it's baseball, it's some basketball over there. This is all women. I mean, for me, just women empowerment.
Yeah.
Just showing that, women can do this.
Yeah.
Be strong. Have their own facility.
Yeah,
with all women.
Yeah. I love that.
But yes, definitely women empowerment and just showing the kids, like, they love AUSL. I know the kids that I work with, they're like, oh my gosh, can we come to a game? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can come to a game.
Yeah.
To just show them that you can be right where I am.
Sis, she just mentioned how there's all these kids that are like, hey, can I come to a game? When you think about where you were when you were younger and what that would have been like to see older women playing at a professional level, what stands out to you?
I mean, I can't even put into words what that means. Talking about facilities, when I was young, I didn't have the accessibility to facilities as much. I didn't do the lessons. I kind of was on my own, so playing wall ball and wiffle ball and those things are incredible. But now there's accessibility and resources for these young softballers to see us, to know that they can do it, and to have access to facilities to perfect their craft. And another thing sometimes happens for these young athletes is they specialize too early. So have fun, play other sports, do other things so that you have a life outside of softball. So then it's not, oh my gosh, if I don't hit the ball today, I am not awesome. No, I'm going to love you if you're 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. You're the same human. And I hope that we can show the young softball players that is something that we care about. We care about each other deeper than that yellow softball.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something, Michaela? No. Okay. I'm curious, when you think about the future of not only AUSL, but just softball in general, what you guys' hope is for the future of AUSL in professional softball.
For that to be our only job.
I love that. Yeah.
For that to be our only job, for sure. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm still playing when that happens.
Yeah, come on.
She will be. Sis, anything stand out to you?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we have a 9-month off season, which is pretty hard, and to be prepared for our first game sometimes is difficult, and a lot of people are college coaches or they're broadcasters, which is amazing, and we love that, but having it be our sole job, I think, is the dream, and hopefully people have paved the way before us, and hopefully we can continue to pave that way for the young softball players.
Yeah, I mean, both really great answers, and I like that's the big part. Like, softball can help you make a living, or softball going to be your living, and I think having that piece figured out is just going to continue to grow the game.
I think as having experience having to go internationally to have that and being able to come back here, I think that we are on the right path and to have that up and up. And I think that, again, with the continued support of any sponsorships or just athletes, like, again, like I've followed all of my leaders like Kat Osterman, Monica Abbott, who have been involved with the AUSL in the past, and just seeing like, wow, they're still at it, like I could do it too. So just having that inspiration, I think that continuing to stay and just hope for the best, but having it here in the States would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all love softball, and it has been such a huge part of our whole entire lives. And me personally, I just graduated college last year, so I'm trying to figure out the next steps. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to grad school? Like, what other jobs can I find? And like, if it could just be softball, like right now, like that would be the biggest dream ever, and like I would be so all in. Like, obviously still so all in with this softball league, but gotta kind of figure out the other parts of my life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But talking about the resources and accessibility, when it eventually does become our only job or the future's only job, then we're able to have those resources and the accessibility to perform at the highest level consistently. And I think that the more fans that come out and the more support that we can have from sponsorships and from the families that come to watch us, I think that that's just what's going to boost us even more. So we can put on a show all we want, but we need the audience to do so. So being able to establish that going forward as well is going to help us a lot.
Okay, so you and your Spark jersey just reminded me that they just released new jerseys. What was that, this week, earlier? What's today? Today's...
We don't know.
Yeah, like, today's Thursday. I didn't know if it was Monday. I'm like, wait a second, is today Monday? Was that last week? But you guys just released your new jerseys. What was that moment like for you guys?
Incredible. I mean, I am an Adidas girly, so shout out Adidas. They have been supporting women's sports for such a long time, and seeing their continued support in our league, I'm so excited. I know they're going to love the uniforms. You guys, it's so great. The uniforms are so good. I can't wait.
Anybody else want to add to
I love that some of them are such girly colors. Like, I feel like traditionally a lot of teams are like red, black. Not that those colors aren't great, but we have such a diverse like range of colors. Like, we have purple and green. I mean, blue and yellow. There's a pink and black. They like the pink. I mean, I would love to wear a pink uniform. Just saying in general, or the baby blue, like in the green. There's such a different, wide range of colors. And I guess growing up, it was like you're going to wear black and white every weekend. I'm like, well, that's not very girly. So being able to kind of do that as well, and having the backing of Adidas, I mean, it's just great. And they're such good quality too, and we look so good and flattering. So good.
I love it. They're like rolling through them right now. I'm like, okay, yes, period. We love those.
Teams are so good.
Love those. Okay, so not to be competitive up here, but who do you think has the best jerseys this season?
Cascade.
Are you?
I don't know.
No, rewind that. Non-biased looking at them. But like, are you like, dang, I wish I had their jersey.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The Bandits, like the all blue,
the pinstripes.
you know, I haven't really been able to like wear that type of light blue before. So it's like I have a little color envy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down with all purple uniform, so I'm happy with that. But it's definitely like something new.
But your Volts are, I mean, like the vibe with your makeup right now, it's fire. It's fire. Okay, well, any last thoughts before we let you guys go?
You're letting us go?
Yeah, unfortunately. Y'all are busy. Y'all are real busy. Y'all run around New York. Anything else, guys?
I'm excited for you guys to see this season. It's going to be really great. I think something great for our league is the home markets. Last year, we were selling out of stadiums everywhere, and the first iteration of the league, we were in Chicago all the time. So now we're everywhere. We get fan bases from everywhere. So I'm really, really excited to see the home cities and excited for you guys to be able to watch.
So choose a team and cheer for them. You guys should like split it down the middle. If you're not from the city, just like split it down the middle, and you guys cheer for her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
We're here with our friends from Fogo Azul that helped get us started and all the energy ready for today's ESPNW Summit conference. And guys, I walked inside, no one was sitting down. Everyone was on their feet. I don't think I've ever been to a conference in my life that has started like that. And one thing I thought was interesting that you guys talked about on stage was the fact that some people are librarians, some people do face paint, body paint. I believe that is you. What inspired you guys to kind of take this route and just be a part of this movement?
So I'm Stacy, I'm the director. I'm actually the brains behind the crazy movement. So I'm a drummer as a little kid, marching band here. I love Brazil. I've been there. We play Brazilian music, and I just wanted to bring something like this to New York City for all to experience. And we have actually a cultural exchange with folks down in Salvador de Bahia in Brazil. And so we learn from them. We go there, they come here, and it's just a wonderful relationship. And the city loves having us around for events like this. Or we actually have 160 people in the band, so this was our mini good pro group here. So yeah, so parades, anything really.
And what about you? I thought it was really interesting. The face paint, the body paint, that's the full-time job. This is the side hustle. I mean, how did you end up in this situation here?
Well, I'm a singer, and I was a professional singer, and just always trying to find ways to get music back in my life. So this has been a total game changer for me. You know, I do a lot of sports painting. I have a big team. We paint for the Knicks and the Rangers, and now I get to go just perform and rehearse. It's such a ball. It's such a good time.
And you guys talked about the fact that there's 160 people in this group. How do you guys keep the chemistry and the energy together and all on the same page?
We have a lot of group chats, and we're broken down into different teams and different sections. We play 5 different drums, so we're always together, always talking, always rehearsing. We meet once a week, and you know we really like each other, so we hang out outside of drumming. Yeah.
So I was up all last night stalking Instagram, seeing everywhere that you guys are over New York City. What's been the most interesting or fun event that you guys have performed at?
I would say for me, the most fun event was Spike Lee's block party a few years back, at Fort Greene. So yeah, Spike Lee called. I was like, who?
No big deal. Spike Lee called me up and asked me to just perform at his block party. Just no big deal, not at all. What about you?
Well, when I first joined, I didn't get to be in this performance, but I get to watch them do the Global Citizens concert and introduce Hugh Jackman, and I was screaming because I was like, I can't believe. But playing on the steps of the Met Museum was also a highlight, very special.
Wow, these are all pretty heavy hitters. All right, what do you have?
We were invited to perform with David Byrne, and as a Talking Heads fan, I was beside myself. He did an event at Town Hall, and we opened it, and it had it was like a variety show sort of thing. So we performed with all sorts of different singers and bands, and that was really special.
Okay, so you guys just made me feel like I don't really do much because you guys are just performing all over the place. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and really just getting us started at the ESPNW Summit.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and my W is the fact that this is my 8th ESPNW Summit in New York City. We have grown this thing tremendously, specifically on the sponsorship side. We have Adidas back this year, so I'm dripping in the swag, but we are so excited because I'm proud to say that we have continued to grow the efforts of the sales and sponsorship aspect of this event to bring these brands to these women and celebrate women in sports.
So they say to surround yourself with winners and then you'll become a winner. So that's exactly what I did. I've got some gold medal winners here with me. The USA hockey team, we've got KK Harvey, Layla Edwards, and we also have Hannah Bilka here with us. And you guys were amazing on stage. Now, I was listening to you guys speak, and I know that KK and also Layla, literally you're here at the summit right now, and then you're going to be graduating, I believe, tomorrow. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, in my early 20s, I could not handle the type of pressure that you guys win a gold medal. You're traveling all around the world, and now you're here at the ESPNW Summit. You graduate tomorrow. I mean, how are you balancing it all? KK, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a balancing act, but fully embracing it. I mean, we're just super lucky and grateful for all these opportunities, and it's been an amazing ride, and to do it with my best friend has been super special.
What about you, Layla?
Yeah, I think just soaking it all in and approaching every day with gratitude. Like, these are such cool opportunities, and Yeah, it's pressure, but it's also, kind of what we signed up for and is building us into becoming the best version of ourselves.
It's almost like a privilege to have that pressure at this age as well. Hannah, I want to get to you because one of the most interesting things that you said on the panel is that you got a call on a Tuesday about going to the Oscars, and then you went to the Oscars on Sunday. I mean, what was going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just so grateful for the opportunity. My teammate needed a +1, and I thought it was an opportunity I could never pass up. I'm a huge movie nerd, so I was kind of fangirling all the actors and actresses, but such a cool opportunity.
What was your favorite moment going to the Oscars? Because I can't even imagine as a journalist, maybe covering it, but going and being a guest, what was your favorite moment?
I think just kind of seeing all of the outfits, and you see these people on TV, but you don't think they're real. And then you see Anne Hathaway, and you're like, wow, you are real.
One thing also I thought was interesting, just looking at both KK and Layla and knowing that you guys have known each other for a very long time, both of you guys have similar stories where your families moved to New York and Rochester so you guys could go to high school and play hockey at an elite program. I mean, what was that like, KK, just seeing your parents sacrifice to get you where you are right now?
Yeah, just like you said, sacrifice. There's a huge sacrifice on both ends. Obviously, they've helped me, pushed me to get there, and it was really just, I was like, okay, I want to do this. And I mean, leaving home from a young age, they definitely missed me a lot, and they knew what that entailed, but it was hard probably for them to see me go, but super grateful for the opportunity and glad I went, and feel like it was the best thing ever.
What about you, Layla?
Yeah, I mean, right what KK said, the sacrifice that our families have had to make to get us here doesn't go unnoticed. And like I said before, if I could have all their names on the back of my jersey, I would. But I'm just really grateful for what they've done, for myself, and yeah.
And what was maybe your favorite part, Hannah, of being in the Olympic Village? That was talked about also on this stage, but I was really curious. I'm like, what's that like? Because you hear so many stories come out of the Olympic Village.
I mean, I think it's got to be meeting the other athletes. We had like a common area that figure skaters, speed skaters, all those types of athletes were there, and you're, making a snack, talking to Quad God, just, it kind of humanizes them, and they come back from winning a gold medal, and it's like, oh, they're, chilling on the couch. Yeah, it's just fun to kind of have those little conversations with them.
Now, I can't let you guys go, you specifically, Layla, without talking about Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, also just helping you, obviously being from Cleveland Heights, you're from their area. How did that start? Like, how did that conversation start of them just, being on board and supporting you on this journey to the Olympics?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it started when I first was named to the national team, in 2024 or 2023 maybe, and they shouted me on their podcast, and ever since they've just been really supportive from a distance. And then Travis donated My Family's Fun, and then they all became fans of like our whole team. They came to a few of our games. Jason and Kylie did. They were just like the loudest people in the stands. I saw some videos, and yeah, they're just so happy for us.
What's maybe the one thing that's changed, KK, since winning a gold medal at the Olympics?
Good question. I mean, I feel like not too much. I mean, we're still going through our everyday. We had to go back and finish our college seasons, and Bilka with her pro season resuming. But I mean, for us, it's just like graduation tomorrow. So I feel like for us also, our next chapter will be going pro. So that's, I guess, what's changing the most.
Yeah, just traveling the country and then graduating the day after tomorrow. Just, no big deal. Just conquering the world. Just slight work. Exactly. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. Great job on the panel. You guys stay with us right there. We've got Breezy Johnson and Brianna Stewart coming up after the break. Today's live stream of the ESPNW Summit NYC is presented by Lilly.